Thank you for joining us today. I'm Carol Jenkins. The program is Black America. Our guest today is Michaela Angela Davis, a writer and commentator on style, race, gender, and hip-hop culture, and an image activist. She'll tell us what that is. She is a frequent commentator on CNN and famous for her Mad Free and Hair Tales conversations, commentaries, and social activism. And thank you so much, Michaela,
for
being with us. I'm such a fan. You know, whenever I see you on CNN, I say, all is right with the world. You've got to put it into perspective. I want to talk about all of the things that you're doing, and there are a lot. Having just watched you this morning before the show started, to see you working, it's an incredible image that you present of a working woman.
It's just a Black American woman multitasking. That's what we do. That's what we do.
Tell us a little bit about you in Black America. Where were you born? Your earliest influences?
Well, I was born in Germany to Black American parents who were in the service, but where I was made was Washington, D.C., Chocolate City, and very, very explicitly the Duke Ellington School of the Arts, which is a gem of an institution in Washington where young, gifted, and Black was the expectation, was the call, was the rallying cry. And so love was just poured into me there, and the idea
at the school.
And by my peers,
right,
and by my teachers, people like Donna Leese and Easter Yaya, and I was expected to be brilliant, and they saw it in me. And as every Black child has brilliance in them, not everyone is blessed for a community to see it and feed it and amplify it. And I just, I was blessed. And by the time I got to New York, I had a confidence that I was connected, because also part of my arts education was knowing that I'm connected to a very rich legacy of genius and of history and of possibility.
And you acted. You were still.
Yeah. I came to New York and went to NYU. I got accepted to a very prestigious Stella Adler Conservatory, because I was very well trained, because of Duke Ellington School of the Arts. I had I studied the Greeks, and that was my classics, because they were smart enough to know that I was not a Shakespearean woman, because I was tall and I had presence. So they gave me roles like Medea. And so when someone looks at you and says, you can be Medea, you can be Richard III. I came in, my audition, I was Richard. So that opens you, that changes you.
And so many of our kids, especially these days, don't have that in any learning situation whatsoever. Nobody telling them, you can be Medea.
It's not just that the bar is low, the bar is on their neck. Holding that, like, the expectations are so, there are none, right? And so I didn't know who Richard III was. Someone had to offer that to me, and no one told me I couldn't be that until I got to Stella Adler Acting Conservatory. It's my first, my second real awareness of racism. At the time, I was kind of in a post-punk moment, and my hair was shaved off.
Oh, shaved off completely, not this.
Mostly shaved off, but then it was also platinum.
Yes.
I was having, like, it was the 80s.
Sure.
And I wore a Mao Zedong suit for, like, every day for 2 weeks. It was the 80s, so let me say that again.
Have we said that Michaela is a little unusual then and now? Is it?
And I just wore red lipstick, very Annie Lennox,
yes,
kind of,
right,
to locate it.
Sure.
And so they did not know I was Black. And as I said, I was studying Richard, and in some conversation I revealed the fact that I was Black. The next semester, I was asked to do Mama from Raisin in the Sun.
Wow.
No shade on Lorraine Hansberry, because she's genius.
Of course.
However,
Yes.
I went from being Richard III to Mama just because the awareness of that I was black. And my pushback was, why not give the white male actor Mama? If we're about like,
Right.
so in that moment, I knew that A, that my instructor had no other reference on black theater than
Sure.
that,
Right.
right? And B, that now I was not seen as this brilliant actress. I was seen as,
Wow.
So-
that was New York City, and that
that
was
was
the
Stella
theater.
Adler acting. So that's when I knew
Right.
another passion that was growing, which was fashion, was more friendly to the diversity of just how I present,
Yes.
how I walk through the world.
Right,
Yeah.
right. As
Yeah.
an eclectic, unique individual. And so you went into writing and magazine publishing. You were the editor in chief of Honey magazine. Yeah, your
Yeah.
baby.
I know.
I've read what you wrote about the close of that great experience, and then it coming to an end.
Yeah.
And you're walking around for a while saying,
Walking around in my loft in a slip for 2 days. It was the breakup of my life. Like, I have never done that with a romantic breakup. You know, I just change my hair and get moving. But because I was in conversation with a million young women of color through that magazine, it was extraordinary. And I knew that this generation and these women were driving culture. And they still are. And it was very successful. It was just that the business behind it wasn't
Sure.
successful. The
As-
magazine.
as in that industry, often.
Yeah, but we were the
case.
mules.
But-
You know, it was
right.
the fastest growing women's magazine in the country at the
Right,
time.
right.
Yeah.
So that was a big, as we all have in our lives, huge disappointment.
Yeah.
And you walked around in a slip for only 2 days.
Yeah. Well, because
I want to tell you that's nothing compared to what.
well, when you have to feed your daughter, you can't indulge, but for so long. But it also was clear to me that the magazine industry was changing, and that media was changing very rapidly. And at Honey, we were really starting to develop the digital side, and this is early 2000s.
Sure.
And so
See how fast and far we've come in
I
a
know.
very short time.
I know.
Time space, and you then created Mad Free.
Yeah.
Tell us about that. And I get your newsletter.
Oh,
and
good.
It's so exciting whenever I find out what you're doing.
Well, it's a perfect connection because the heartbreak of losing communication with those women was something I couldn't negotiate. So I just created a much smaller version of that, and it began as a salon series in my loft. And I had young women come in, and then I would have some of my women friends who were just amazing, June Ambrose and filmmakers and surgeons,
Sure.
and so they could have
A salon.
That's exactly what it was. It's a salon de shine, and then it became Mad Free because it just got too big to get into my Brooklyn apartment. But so it came out of this need to stay in conversation with particularly young women and make that sort of cross-generational connection, keep that connection strong, because we need each other. My generation needs the energy of the young generation, and they need this connection to a legacy and connection to excellence. So that's how I see us moving together. So Mad Free has become this bigger expression of being in conversation, particularly about image, beauty, and power.
So, because these girls, the young women, are being told by everybody else that they can't be Medea.
Yeah.
And so you're the Medea circle in
Right.
a sense, you know,
Right.
to tell them that they can be whoever.
Yes. That whoever they say they
Right.
are. That, I mean, self-realization, self-definition, self-creation is a basic human need. And with black women in particular, you are either told that you are a slut or you have to be a priestess, that your humanity isn't allowed, or you're just totally ignored. Invisibility is another kind of pain. Like there's either hypersexualized or you're invisible, or you're only interesting when you're being violent and ratchet and throwing drinks and being extra. Not to say that that's not, I don't want to shame that, but I'm just saying that
Sure.
the range, the narrow narratives that often black women are allowed, Mad Free was about expanding that path so that more of our narratives can be shared, and also we can share how frustrating it is to be to walk through the world and travel. And in Italy, if you're a young black woman, they think that you're a video girl. Like the PR for black women, particularly at the time when it began, was so bad because it was literally through music videos and reality television. That was where you saw us the most, particularly in groups. And so as we moved through the world, that was most people's understanding of young women of color, when the reality is they were rocking. You know, they were so brilliant and so brave and so interesting and so smart. But this one, it's comfortable to understand black women as this, right? This is a narrative that we've been seeing in images of black women since the beginning of time. And so now you see us changing and evolving, and social media has really broken that door wide open.
And you use it so well.
I love it. There's no one in charge.
I know all of the videos that you do. I think
Yes.
we have a clip of you interviewing Beverly Bond, who, speaking of black girls rocking.
Yes.
Let's take a listen to that.
Such a comfort level of watching us tear each other down. And then you just come out with one shining light, Black Girls Rock, and it's resistance. Like, what do you think that is?
I don't think it is fair to say that all of us would rather see us tear each other down.
No, I mean the people that greenlight these shows, meaning that I feel like there's a comfort level inside of producing and perpetuating these images in mainstream media. They're much more comfortable in understanding what black girls fighting is more than black girls lifting.
You've done a whole series of these interviews with women that, as you say, change the concept of what a black woman is, what black girls are. And you then segued into this wild thing that I love called hair tales. And I think, are you the one who said it's the vagina monologues of?
Yes.
Okay.
What about black
For those
hair?
who don't know what the vagina monologues are, talk a little bit about that.
Well, I mean, the Vagina Monologues is this brilliant project that has grown into, I think it's even bigger than a movement now, right?
Sure.
That was the result of thousands of Eve
Ensler, right.
Brilliant.
Right.
Talking to women about their sexuality and about their experiences, and particularly through, their sexual experiences. It's about identity, right?
Right.
And it's turned into an annual event.
I know. I
where-
actually did 6 weeks of it off
you
Broadway
did?
in the early stages. When they got down to, all of the actresses did
Yes.
it, and then they got to the newscasters or anybody. I mean, it really went on and
fantastic.
still goes on for.
It's every V-Day.
Right.
But
so this is the black girl, black
version.
woman version.
Right.
Of that identity.
Well, it's interesting because, and I'm so glad that you showed a clip of Beverly Bond, because that was my first public Mad Free. That was the first one where I had to move out of my apartment because hundreds of people came. And because her mission is so clear and so connected, and that's my comrade. But why I started Hair Tales was sitting on my computer desktop for a while. Last year, I was in so many conversations about black trauma and terror. And after Charleston, something in me broke. I still don't think I've completely gotten to the other side of that.
On so many of
it
us.
was so, but it was on top of Sandra Bland, on top of Mike Brown, but there was something about, and I decided that I had to get in conversation about something that connects us, something that's about black girl joy, right? Something that is universal and intimate. And I felt that whether you are from Detroit or Dakar, whether you're in the White House or whether you're in public housing, we all have a story in our hair. This is something that connects us. It holds our history, our hysteria, our passion, our pleasure. It causes confusion out in the world.
And it's why so many black girls don't swim.
Don't swim, don't have sex on Friday. I mean, but it's also where we have great creativity.
Yes.
great sense of expression and shape-shifting. And so part of my urgency around doing Hair Tales was it was in reaction to a year of just the painful stories. And so so I did what you're not supposed to do. I started with my own money, and I never asked celebrity friends to do anything, but this time I was like, I needed to just start it. Regina King was the first person to say yes. God bless her. And Tasha Smith gave me a space. And then I had one shoot, and now it's growing.
And I was watching last night the interview with Patrisse Cullors, one of the founders of Black Lives Matter, and she was a girl who shaved her head and survived the doing of it when her mother saw her.
Well, you know what it revealed was their identity. When they told their hair story,
Right.
it revealed who they are in this world. So Patrisse is brave. Patrisse is a rebel. Patrisse is disruptive, right? In a very loving way. And so when her story was about shaving her hair, that was a rebellious act. Or Mara Braca Keel, who told her story about not disappearing because she almost got beat up at the skating rink because
Right.
she had that good hair, right?
Right.
So everyone had these different stories, but their stories revealed something about them, and this is about Black women's identity through the lens of our hair, and Patrisse's was really powerful, and I look at her differently now because
Well, that's
of that.
part of what brought her to Black Lives Matter, I'm sure.
It's
You know,
love
that-
and resistance.
Right, right. I want to talk about a couple of things that you say are connected in a sense. You're working with the cast of Eclipsed. You're doing a documentary with them. And you also have been facilitating the Circle of Mothers, Trayvon Martin's mother and others, a meeting with Hillary Clinton. Talk about those. It's an odd combination, but they are connected.
And all of it's connected. All of it is about amplifying the diverse and brilliant stories of Black women. All of it, whether it's our hair, whether it's about war, whether it's about losing children in the movement. And so it's all that's all the stuff under the Mad Free umbrella, is amplifying Black women's stories. And that's how I move through the world, is looking at where are the Black women. And so with Eclipsed, I just got very, very lucky to partner with BET International, is the executive producer or hosting the documentary. But I saw the play and was completely riveted, and back to Honey, because in my last issue of Honey, I did a story on these librarian women, rebels that no one was talking about because they looked just like us.
Right.
They were dressed in hip hop gear, but they were fighting the war. And then concurrently there were the women peacemakers. So what was happening in Liberia, the entire story was around Black women. I'd forgotten it. And then I saw Denai Guerrero's play at the Public, and the Black Diamond, who was the central character in our story, and in Honey, was on that stage in Zainab Job. And so the whole event came back, but also it became what happens when Black women get into positions and connect and tell their story. Something very powerful. So Denai, Lupita, Liesl, Tommy, who's the amazing director, they all have been doing this play from Yale to Broadway.
Right.
So it has this incredible journey. The cast is extraordinary. They represent 5 different countries on the continent of Africa. Never do we see African women's stories told, particularly in the Great White Way. This is breakthrough. Not only is it the first all-women play on Broadway, not all Black women, but all women, meaning that the director, the writer, the star.
It's extraordinary. And all
Yeah, and one of the
nominated,
key-
by the way.
and one of the lead producers is a Black woman
Right.
on Broadway.
Right.
So it's extraordinary. And I just wanted to have that story told, and also so the people on the continent can see that they matter too, and that we're all connected.
They matter, and that we're connected. And the Circle of Mothers, now, you were there at that meeting of Hillary
Yes,
Clinton.
yes.
It's so interesting that that she developed that connection.
Yes, yeah.
Talk a little bit about.
Well, you know, it's interesting because Trayvon Martin's mother, Sabrina Fulton, I got connected to her as soon as Trayvon fell because I saw this one black woman who just buried her son standing in an army of microphones and men and having to tell her story. And she was incredible. And so I've done a project around her for the Huffington Post around her the first Mother's Day she had to face without Trayvon. So we did this big sort of love letter to her. So I developed a spiritual relationship to her because she was the mother she was like Emmett Till's mother, the one that was brave enough to say,
open
what
the
happened.
casket and
Yes.
take a look at his face and
Yes.
see what they did to it. Right.
This is the 21st century version of that.
Right.
So the fact that she had started this circle of mothers where it is the saddest sorority that they do not want to grow, but it does. So there, Jordan Davis's mom, Mike Brown's mom, Eric Gardner's mother, some of the mothers from Sandy Hook were there, that they can share and heal and create a sisterhood. And for those of them who are strong enough, are fighting for policy change, for common sense gun laws. Some of them have their own foundations. Some of them have their own laws that they're trying to pass because they have different stories. One mother's son was mentally ill and was shot. One mother's son was taken by the police from school, left somewhere, and so they say they all have common stories. But what was interesting about going there and seeing Secretary Clinton had been involved with these mothers before she became a candidate. And a lot of that I didn't know. For instance, Nicole Bell, who's Sean Bell's fiance, said that then Senator Clinton was the first and only elected official to call her days after. And just, what can I do for you? And all these mothers had stories about personal stories about how Secretary Clinton was listening to them. For instance, Gwen Carr's sort of one-liner was, I endorse Hillary because she endorsed me first. And I felt like their stories were very powerful, and their stories I felt would connect with black women. This election is the most critical of my lifetime.
Why do you feel that? And what
You know,
part?
The choice is so stark, and so I feel like we're having another level of the Civil War or the Civil Rights Movement, that this is an ideological moment when we are facing systemic racism, white supremacy. The Civil Rights Act happened, but I don't know if all those, some magical moment didn't happen and change all the hearts of all the people that have benefited from white privilege or white supremacy. And so I feel like this is the work continuing. This is the civil rights work continuing, watching how people show up at 4 o'clock in the morning for a 5 o'clock Trump rally just to be hateful. And so while the last two elections felt so good, and we were part of history, and I felt so proud and moved. This is different. I feel like this is a fight, and where, to be really honest, I wish we had produced better choices, meaning I would have liked the table to be different in terms of our candidates, but this is what we've got. And what I do know about Secretary Clinton, she's incredibly smart and incredibly prepared. And my interest was, why were all these black women around her? Her staff, Deara Ballinger. I got involved with her because of the black women in her staff. There's an incredible amount of black women that rock with Hillary, and I wanted to know why. And so I went down to the Circle of Mothers and collected their stories too, and they are so heartbreaking, but their hearts are so brave.
So you're so passionate and so involved. What do you want to see happen that comes from your initiative? What would you say? I really made a difference, I've made a change? What do you want to see happen?
I want to see Black women be seen. Because, for instance, with Hair Tales, it's made to delight us, but I want others to be informed and know us and know our humanity and understand our complexity so that we can contribute more fully. We're spending so much energy fighting against resistance and oppression that if you gave us more room, we could contribute to this world in such a bigger way. And so this is for all of humanity, because Black women in America hold the key to our humanity, and they carry our possibility. And I feel by empowering Black women, we empower Black families, we empower Black communities, we empower the country. And in an odd way, I felt that Secretary Clinton felt that too. Because when I saw her in intimate moments with those mothers, she was listening and feeling and understanding that we have this capacity. What's so fascinating, why I love Black women, why I love us, is our capacity to have a range of experience in one day. We can go from being in the boardroom to being in the club to taking our kids to soccer to working in the church, that we are funny and sexy and smart, and our hair can shapeshift in one day. Because if I had a flat iron, you could have, something would happen to you right away.
Right.
That we have been made to be complex because of the pressure. And now that is our greatest gift.
We usually have our guests finish the show with the strength and power of Black America lies in. I have a feeling I know what the answer is.
What is it?
Black women.
That's right. Black women and our hair.
Michaela Angela Davis, thank you so much for being with us today.
It's my pleasure.
What a delight. And thank you, too, out there for being with us today. I'm Carol Jenkins. The show is Black America, and we will see you the next time.
Thank you so much.
Wonderful. I'm serious.